PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Welcome to PACTV Community News. We have a great show for you tonight with stories from Duxbury, Kingston, Pembroke, and Plymouth. We'll visit a new healthcare clinic in Plymouth, meet a new caterer from Pembroke, and hear about some Silver Lake students being honored in Nashville.
We also hear about Plymouth becoming a cultural designation, and our Drs Orders segment returns with lung cancer screening information.
Town Talk brings Duxbury's town manager to the set. It's going to be a great show, and we'll begin with a classic but local ballet story. The Nutcracker is a traditional holiday ballet classic, drawing in people every season to watch the incredible dancers, costumes, and choreography. The Jose Mateo Ballet Company in Cambridge has performances every year in the city, but also comes down to Duxbury's Performing Arts Center. This year, 8 young dancers from Duxbury will be performing, and PCN went to Cambridge to meet them and watch them rehearse.
The Nutcracker is the story about a girl named Clara who gets the gift of the Nutcracker from her Uncle Drosselmeyer, and then he makes it come to life, and it becomes the Nutcracker Prince, and she dances with him, and he shows her gifts, and it breaks, but it's okay in the end. And she goes on a magical journey with him through all the different lands, and she gets to dance with him.
I love the Nutcracker because it's just a great experience. You get to learn all these different steps, new parts, and I love being an angel and a soldier. They're both great parts.
I'm a soldier, and I really love the Nutcracker because it's something professional, and it's really fun.
This is my 9th Nutcracker season here at Jose Mateo, and I've been working for a really long time to be on point in the Nutcracker, and it's such a great experience to be able to do that.
I'm really excited to be an angel this year because last year I was an understudy, so I only got to dance one time, but this time I get to do it all the regular times that everyone else does, so I'm excited for that.
The reason that I love ballet is because there's never a time where you don't have to work on something. There's always something that you're trying to perfect, and it never gets boring.
I love ballet so much because it just really teaches you all of the stuff about the world. It teaches you how to be proper. It teaches you good posture, good manners, and I love it. It's just the fluidity of the movement, and it's just such a great sport.
It's not as upbeat, it's more graceful, and I like that better. And you have to put more time into it for it to improve, like the style of dance, so that's what I like better.
I have daily technique class every day, and I come up to Cambridge twice a week on Saturday and Sunday for rehearsals, which range from 3 to 4 hours every day.
I dance 6 days a week, 3 hours a day, 2-hour classes, 3-hour Nutcracker rehearsals. It's a lot.
There are people from all over the state in the production, so it's really cool to get to meet people from different areas.
All of the teachers here are so nice, and they make the rehearsals just so much fun.
It's really fun to be working with Jose Mateo. I've been doing the Nutcracker for around 4 years, and last year I just started dancing in Duxbury for him. He's really nice. I mean, he gives you very good tips, and I think he makes a lot of people better dancers overall. I felt like I wanted to do more ballet when I was around 10, I'd say, because I really got interested in ballet because I watched the Nutcracker a couple times and it looked really fun.
The technique of my both two roles, in soldier, it's mainly just acting. You gotta play the part of a soldier, you gotta be strict. It's just on flat shoes, so it's not very high difficulty. But Angel, it's extremely hard. I'm dancing with mostly 15-year-old girls, and I'm only 13, so it's really hard to keep up.
It's such an amazing experience because you get to dance in front of so many people and there's so many different shows, and it's really great to work with the company members and also the younger cast members.
I really like performing in Duxbury because it is in my hometown, and the stage is really nice in the PAC, and here when we perform it's not on a stage, and it's still lights and everything with that, but it's not as nice as being on a real stage, so I like that the best, and there's a bigger audience, so that's really fun.
It's gonna feel great. All my friends are coming to the show and they're gonna make posters and they're gonna be in the audience, so I'm kinda excited about that.
The Duxbury Performing Arts Center shows are Friday, November 28th through Sunday the 30th, and the Cambridge and Dorchester shows run December 4th through the 21st. For more information about the performances and the ballet company, you can go to the Performing Arts Center's website or the Jose Mateo Ballet Company website. The beauty and pageantry of this show will move your holiday spirit.
I'm Kirsten, and I'm 8 years old, and I'm a cherub, and what I really like about ballet is when I go home and then I can't stop dancing.
I'm Charlotte Cleland. I'm 8 years old, and I'm a Polly Chanel in the Nutcracker. And what I like about ballet is I get to practice a lot at my house.
My name is Maddie, and I'm 8 years old. I'm a mouse in the Nutcracker, and I like everything about ballet.
I'm Liza, and I'm 6 years old, and I like everything about ballet.
Two Silver Lake students were selected to be a part of a national choir that performed at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. The all-national honor ensembles represent the top-performing high school musicians in the United States, and PCN met up with the students as they prepared for their exciting trip down south.
Peter and Matthew are the first two students from Silver Lake Regional High School to ever be accepted to an all-national honor ensemble. Peter and Matthew are two of 17 students from Massachusetts that are in the chorus. There are, I think, 670 students that are performing as part of the all-national chorus, orchestra, band, concert band, and jazz band. And when I read over the list, there were 17 singers from Massachusetts. And I think there's a clarinet player from Duxbury, but aside from that, they seem to be the only students from our southeast area.
It's a bit of a lengthy process to get into the National Choir, actually. First, what you have to do is you have to get into a local music festival that we pretty much colloquially refer to as Senior District.
And then from that, we were able to get an all-state recommendation dictated by our score. So then we were able to try out for the All-State Music Festival through all of Massachusetts.
And anybody who goes to their state's All-State Festival can apply for this national festival that's in Nashville.
Well, we had the ability or opportunity to audition for the All-National Music Festival, so that's how we got there from there. Here tonight, okay, so we'll be doing different sort of theme songs, like we've got some Broadway, we've got some original songs and band songs, so we'll sort of just trying to have an uplifting atmosphere just to let the audience have an opportunity for a good time and just like be uplifted, hopefully.
Well, when I started doing music, I started doing percussion as like part of a school band or whatever. I didn't really get into singing until 7th grade when the chorus teacher at the middle school I went to at the time said, you know, hey, maybe you'd like to try out for this festival. It's another festival that's only kids from Southeast Mass. And so I said, sure, why not? I tried out and I got in. And it was an incredible experience for me. I loved it, loved it, loved it. And I've pretty much been doing those same things ever since.
Silver Lake Regional School District is funding our participation for Mrs. Foley and I to go to the All-National Conference. It's also the Music Educators Conference while we're there. So it's about $1,000 per person to get down there, and I also know the families of the boys are hoping to travel to be able to see them participate in this. They're performing at the Grand Ole Opry. We're trying to raise, between $3,500 and $4,000.
As a music educator, I know what it takes to really get to a place like this, and it couldn't happen to two nicer boys. Extremely talented, but super humble, very open to all kinds of people, and just very giving of themselves too, which is really nice because sometimes that doesn't always go hand in hand. So I can't wait to see them perform in Nashville. That will be a huge thrill, and just so proud, really, really proud.
Pembroke resident Lisa Mateo McDonald built a successful career in marketing and digital media. Her heart, however, was always in the kitchen, cooking. Lisa made a leap in life to this new world, where she specializes in rustic, all-natural, home-style gourmet food. PCN stopped into her debut event to watch her in action.
Flying too high with a guy in the sky is my idea.
The event tonight was actually hosted by Loretta LaRoche, and she's a local celebrity. She's an author and a comedian, and she's an advocate of new businesses, and she really likes to try new things. And so she graciously invited us to debut our catering company this evening. And so she invited some of her friends, and we invited some of our friends and people that we knew to kind of come together. So it's just a really beautiful evening with friends and new contacts for business opportunities.
We were looking for something different to do, to spend all the time and energy working long hours. I work in IT. Lisa had been a project manager, producer for digital media. And if the days were going to be that long and working weekends, it should be something that we enjoy doing. Mm-hmm. And we've always liked cooking together, and people have seemed to enjoy our food. And it's become, like, as our spare time got shorter and shorter, our hobbies kind of got put on the shelf. But cooking is a creative outlet and is something we love to do, so Tasteful Adventures was born.
This evening, for example, we decided to theme it in Latin Meets America, so it kind of brings my Puerto Rican background and my Latin background, and then his background growing up in the Midwest, but also living in Los Angeles for 18 years. But that's basically how we themed the different foods that we put together tonight. So, for example, from my Puerto Rican background, I brought in the rice and chicken, which is a very traditional dish that has chicken and sausage and capers and olives and homemade chicken broth, and then there was a chickpea stew that also had sausage, and everything is homemade, everything is from scratch, everything is all natural. We try to do as organic as possible. We certainly were looking at the different not flavor profiles, but looking at the different palettes of what people like. So we had some meat, we had some chicken, we had some fish, we had vegetarian, we had a paleo sample. So really kind of looking at the broad spectrum of what people like to eat, and certainly dietary needs that people have. We really want it to be a boutique catering company, whether it's a anniversary special event for somebody, or whether it's a office that requires doing a party or requires a meeting buffet or that kind of thing. So we really are trying to cater to a variety types of target markets and disciplines and people with different needs. So it really is, but we want to keep it boutique. We really don't have an interest in establishing a restaurant or doing anything of that nature. And in a way, this is what this evening's event was sort of an experiment of, because here we have this amazing jazz band with these world respected musicians who play with Barbra Streisand and Frank Sinatra and who knows, Buddy Rich is another one. So we have these amazing musicians, and they're doing a performance or a series of performances, and then we have the food, and people are talking and mingling, and we have a list of people that we invited, and Loretta had a list of people that she invited. So this in a way was sort of like an experimental salon type of a party. So it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Harbor Community Health Center Plymouth provides primary care, dental, and behavioral health services to residents in Plymouth and the surrounding communities. Its newest location is in Cordage Park in Plymouth, and PCN recently visited the facility to meet some of their staff.
This is Harbor Community Health Center's Plymouth location. We're located at Cordage Park at number 10. On the first floor, ample parking, and we're a primary care and dental medical office offering services to the community that may not in the past have had access to primary care and dental care.
One of the services that we provide here is we offer free enrollment to the members of our communities, whether they are patients or non-patients of the health center. Everyone that walks through the door, we have certified application counselors to help you obtain health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. We serve all members of the community that come through the door. We have everyone from pediatrics to geriatrics coming in.
Let me walk you down to where the nurse practitioners and the physicians are working. This is the room where they collaborate on patient care. So we have 6 different medical rooms for primary care, specialty care, for nurse practitioners and physicians to see the patients. We have an on-site laboratory as well. They can do routine lab work so that patients don't have to go to another facility to have their labs pulled or done. This is one of the dental exam rooms. So the dentists here are working with patients for both restorative care as well as preventative care. So we have dentists and hygienists here to see patients of all ages, pediatrics through geriatrics.
Here at the dental side of Harbor Community Health Center, we focus on prevention and on treating active decay. At your first visit, you can expect to have your teeth checked, your gums checked, any previous work checked, and we can decide what needs to be done from there. We'll also set you up for a good cleaning and then hopefully see you again in the future.
Open enrollment period for the Affordable Care Act starts on November 15th. Members will be getting letters in the mail asking them to reapply, and this is where you come to. We have certified application counselors that are very knowledgeable. We speak different languages. We have people here that speak Brazilian, Portuguese, and Spanish. We also have access to a language line, over 400 different languages, so that we can help serve the community. We do offer free help to assist the members obtaining health insurance. We are here to help the members of this community obtain health insurance and provide medical and dental care.
Plymouth's Board of Selectmen voted in favor of creating a Massachusetts Cultural Council District. A cultural district designation in downtown Plymouth will highlight the many artistic, musical, culinary, and other cultural events in the area. The committee responsible for the proposed cultural district recently held a public meeting, and PCN was there to hear more.
And we look forward to this being a huge part of the cultural
Tonight's meeting is to gain some traction and consensus about having a cultural district here in Plymouth, which is a walkable district that has cultural assets, stores that have handmade items, restaurants that have art on the walls or who host music, live music, and of course places like the one we're in, the Spire Center, the Arts Center, any galleries, any dance studios, music studios, they all count.
I'm Mary Jenkins and I'm the Program Manager for the Cultural Districts Initiative at the Massachusetts Cultural Council. And the Cultural Council is the state arts agency, and we support cultural organizations and artists in all of our communities across the Commonwealth. So I'm here as a resource to the organizers, and if there are questions that come up that they don't feel they can answer, I can help with that. So I'm slotted into the question and answer session this evening.
The job of the Cultural District Committee is to put together the application for this cultural district, and then after we are approved for this district, the Cultural District Committee will be responsible for pulling together 1 or 2 large-scale events that the cultural district entities can be involved in year over year.
The cultural district is a way to bring all the businesses, restaurants, venues, historic sites together. So they work as a unit and they attract people, tourists and residents, as a large entity. So instead of, for example, just going to Plymouth Rock, you'll go to Plymouth Rock and be connected to other cultural assets. For example, say even Kiskadee Coffee on Main Street, even though it doesn't seem like a cultural asset, it's a local cultural organization. They have internet, they have local products being sold there. So it's small to large. It includes the Mayflower 2, it includes the waterfront, it includes all kinds of venues. It includes this right here, the Spire Center.
Well, these meetings can be quite lively, and I think that when they work well, it's because people have a lot of questions and really want to know actually what's going to happen and how it's all going to hang together and who's going to be involved and how they can be involved. And I think there's plenty of room for a lot of different people. This isn't an agenda that's just owned by a handful of people. This is going to take a lot of people in the community figuring out a shared agenda to help boost the economic circumstance of the community.
The cultural district is really just one part of building towards the events of 2020, which is the 400th anniversary of Plymouth Colony and the coming of Mayflower. And so this is a way that we can get those cultural entities involved and have one place to kind of go to speak to them and bring them into different events that are going to be ongoing over the next 5.5 years.
We're very excited about having Plymouth as part of this mix. We have 26 designated cultural districts and communities across the state. The nearest one to Plymouth is in Sandwich. So we're hoping that, fingers crossed, everything goes really well and we can pick up and run with it from there, and we'll be back.
Our newest segment, Drs Orders, brings us some news on lung cancer screening from Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital in Plymouth.
Hi, I'm Walter Leck. I'm a thoracic surgeon at Beth Israel Deaconess Plymouth, and this is PCN's Drs Orders. I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about lung cancer screening. For those of us in the thoracic oncology field, we've been looking for a couple of decades now for a way to identify patients who are at highest risk for developing lung cancer from their smoking. A couple of years ago, the National Lung Cancer Screening Trial was published, and it demonstrated that there was a 20% mortality reduction for those individuals who were screened versus those who weren't. In fact, that's an underestimate because the study had to be stopped in the middle because it was unethical to continue not screening those who were in the placebo arm. So one of the things that I would like to convey to everyone who's listening to this is that if you are age 55 or older and have a 30-pack year smoking history, which means either 30 years of smoking times a pack a day or some variation thereof, then you would fit the criteria for this study. What I would implore you to do is to talk to your PCP, to talk to your primary care physician, and ask them whether or not they think that you would be able to qualify to have your lung cancer screening study. Individuals who are found to have an early stage cancer are often eligible to have it removed with some of the newer techniques like video-assisted thoracoscopic surgery, which is something we specialize in. And for those of you who are fortunate enough to not have a lesion found on these CT scans, for God's sake, please stop smoking now, for your sake and others. Thank you for listening.
This week's Town Talk brings Duxbury's town manager, Rainey Reed, to our set. Welcome, Rainey.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate being here.
Thank you for coming back. Lots of things going on in Duxbury, but let's start with Holidays. What is it? Who's it for? When does it happen, etc.?
Well, Holidays is now a 10-year tradition that we've had in Duxbury that's run by the Duxbury Business Association. It's sort of a civic event that involves a lot of the community businesses, and they run trolleys all around town that will allow people to hop on the trolley for free and go from point A to point B all throughout the town of Duxbury, in Hall's Corner, Millbrook, a whole bunch of different areas. A lot of the community businesses have different attractions, if you will. Cider, donuts, excuse me, Santa Claus will be at Duxbury Mortgage office out front, giving kids candy canes and asking what they might like for Christmas. It runs on Sunday, November 30th, and the event runs from noon to 4. And then it culminates with a tree lighting ceremony at dusk at Millennial Park, which is just around the corner from Duxbury Hall's Corner in Duxbury. It's really nice because Santa will arrive by way of a huge fire truck. All the kids get excited. There's a great crowd, and then they do caroling, and then there's hot chocolate available, popcorn, and they get the whole program wraps up right around 7 o'clock. So it's a lot of fun, and we encourage a lot of residents and non-residents alike to come and attend. It's a good time.
Is it a rain or shine proposal?
It's a rain or shine event. Last year it was a little bit drizzly. It was kind of cold, but it added to the atmosphere, and it did stop raining by the time Santa came. So the miracle of Christmas through Santa did occur. So it was great. We had good weather, and we hope to have good weather this year too.
Okay. How many people generally come?
We get pretty solid crowds. They'll be at Millennium Park. There could be up to 1,000 people there by the time Santa arrives, and it's because of the duration of the event. It runs from noon to 4 for the aspects occurring at the businesses. They can have 300 to 400 to 500 people going through the businesses during the course of the day. Yeah, it's a very strong event.
Oh, that's awesome. And this is your 10th year?
Again, yep, it's the 10th year. The chairman of the Duxbury Business Association, Ann Antonellis, is the person in charge of running it this year, and she's done a great job, as she has in the past, doing it as well. And all the businesses pitch in, and they have a really fun time.
That's wonderful. And we're going to be covering that on PCN.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yes,
it should be an exciting event.
Yes, we can't wait. Okay, now talk to me about the budget.
Yeah, right now we're in the midst of our budget process. We're sort of wrapping it up because Duxbury is unusual in that our town meeting occurs in March. Many other communities in the South Shore and throughout the state have their town meetings that wrap up either end of April or beginning of May. But ours is the second Saturday in March. So right now we're in the process of wrapping up the budget process that we've reviewed with the department heads. My budget message will actually be going out to the Finance Committee and the Board of Selectmen on December 12th, which is a Friday. So we're putting the finishing touches, if you will. We want to try and see if we can have it wrapped up before Thanksgiving, right around there, so that we can have everything ready to go. Prior to that, though, on December 2nd, which I believe is a Tuesday, is the submittal deadline for people to submit articles to our office. And if people have articles that they'd like either on the annual town meeting or the special town meeting, we encourage them to call our office if they need any assistance. The number is 934-1100.
Okay.
We're happy to help. We can have town council review the articles with them to help work on it and make sure that the warrant's all squared away.
Excellent. And again, your town meeting isn't until March.
That's correct. It'll be the second Saturday in March.
And is there any big, huge
Thankfully, no. We don't have any huge hot button issues right now, but not all the articles have been submitted. But we're hoping that things will pretty much that it'll be a quiet town meeting.
Okay, great. That's super. I hope you have a great holidays.
Thank you very much. We hope to see you guys there.
Okay, and we'll have you again on set.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this week's show. Replay times are listed on our website, PACTV.org, or you can catch us up on YouTube and search for the PACTV Community News channel. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to receive previews and links to all of our stories. We also want to let you know a new PCN In-Depth episode will air on Friday, November 21st, focusing on preparing for college. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week for another episode of PACTV Community News.